Hello, everybody. Welcome. We are here for the final game of the 12 Courts of Christmas. New Heights Christian Cougars taking on the Fayetteville Bulldogs. I'm Brian Schumacher alongside Brad Burns. Brad, we had a overtime game yesterday. Had a couple chances to win, couldn't quite pull it off.
Yeah, we didn't do a good job rebounding first half especially. We did a little better in the second half, and it let them claw their way back in because we actually took a 7-point lead there at halftime. But it was a close game. We led all the way to the end. We had, I think, 3 different opportunities at the very end to hit a bucket, and we just couldn't get the shot to fall, so we went into overtime. We actually scored the first bucket in overtime to take a 2-point lead, and then they came down, hit a 3, took a 1-point possession, and then it was kind of a defensive battle back and forth, and they scored another bucket, and then it made us have to foul after we had missed a 3-point attempt. So it just ended up being where we lost by 4, but we actually played fairly well, but it was just one of those things we should have done a better job rebounding and holding them to one shot, because that's where they got most of their points, was off second chances.
Looks like we have the same starting lineup for the Cougars as we did last night. About ready for pregame introductions.
Our starters for tonight's match. First, the designated visiting team from New Heights Christian Academy. Number 3, senior shooting guard.
Introducing the Cougars first, senior number 3, 5'10", Ben Schumacher. Senior number 22, 5'10", Cannon Miller. Junior number 24, 6'1", Broderick Burns. Senior number 25, 6'3", Adam Stanton. And junior number 33, 6'5", Max Long. All right, the Fayetteville, Arkansas Bulldogs, number 1, Byron Daniels Jr., sophomore. Number 5 is Hudson Garrett, a senior. Number 12, Kenyon Johnson, a senior. Number 23 is DJ Hudson, a senior. And number 24, sophomore Mitch Kirkland. So 3 seniors and 2 sophomores in the starting lineup for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, I was watching number 24. He was dunking in warm-ups and also draining threes, so he looks like he's a very good player for being a sophomore.
Looks like they both have pretty good size. Number 24 looks to be 6'6", 6'7".
I'm sure all the fans at home did that in their living room, Brian.
Broderick Burns doing the tip. Cougars looking to be in a defensive set to start out. And the Bulldogs win the tip. We're underway. Ball played to the top to Garrett. Burns defending. Garrett into the corner for Daniels Jr. And Daniel Jr. hits the 3 to start off the game for the Bulldogs. Cougars quickly pushing out. Ball inside, stolen away by Daniels Jr. Over to number 12, that's Johnson. Across to Daniels Jr. for another 3. Air ball, and Burns pulls down the rebound. Being tightly defended by Garrett. Burns turns back to the middle, gets it into the front court to Schumacher. Schumacher rips through, goes baseline off the glass, and a nice finish by Schumacher.
Yeah, nice job by Ben going ahead and driving and floating it right off the glass for 2 points.
Ball across to Daniels Jr. on the right side. Back over to Johnson. Daniels Jr. at the top, floats it into number 24, Kirkland. Down low and back outside for number 12, Johnson. Good box out by Stanton and rebound by Burns. Stanton pushing through the middle, looking to go all the way to the glass. Takes the extension layup, can't get it to fall, and rebound by the Bulldogs. Ball down low, long there, and big dunk by number 23, DJ Hudson, in the transition game for the Bulldogs. Back in the front court for the Cougars. Miller back to Burns at the top. Being defended tightly by Garrett. Over to Schumacher on the left wing. Schumacher back to the middle. Gets it to Burns. Burns to the elbow. Gets bumped off. Back up top to Miller. Miller over to Stanton on the left wing. Daniels Jr. defending. And number 5, Garrett, goes through Burns' back and commits the foul.
Yeah,
Cougars inbounding.
Burns doing a good job shielding him away from that pass to make him only have one option, try to go through him.
Johnson and Daniels Jr. I'm sorry, Hudson and Daniels Jr. both subbed out. Number 4, Barnett in. Stanton with a tough shot off the glass and can't get it to fall.
It's a nice look, good drive, just couldn't get it to drop that time.
Into the corner for number 2, Schaefer. Offensive rebound by Kirkland. Trying to find an option back up and draws the foul. Looked like it might have been called on Burns. Let's see. Yeah, called on Burns on the reach from the backside. First foul of the game on the Cougars.
Yeah, it looks like Burns was trying to harass him, and he was leaving the ball down there low for being as big a kid as he was, and Burns was just trying to reach in there and grab at it.
Mitch Kirkland at the line for 2 free throws. Misses the first. Makes the second. It's a 4-point lead for the Bulldogs. Cannon Miller in the backcourt. Bulldogs in the full court press. Burns in the middle. Trap comes in. Burns on the pivot, loses the handle, and the Bulldogs get it into transition. Number 4 is Barnett, back to Garrett at the top. Garrett floats it in for Kirkland, takes the 15-footer and hits it. Burns into Stanton, and Stanton steps on the line. Ball back to the Bulldogs. Number 2, Schaefer, gets it in to Johnson. Inside for Garrett. 3-pointer for Barnett. Backside rebound by Kirkland, and he puts it back in for 2 more points for the Bulldogs. And that's enough for the Cougars to want a timeout.
Yeah, 10-2. We were there at 3-2. And then we missed a couple of runners, a couple ones that went off the back and rolled around the rim, and they've been capitalizing with their height, getting some offensive rebounds again. They've also started out shooting fairly well. They had the 1 air ball, and they've missed a 3, but they've been shooting very well. Of course, when you dunk the ball, it usually is a fairly easy bucket there.
All right, Bulldogs stay in the full court press after the timeout. Cannon Miller inbounding for the Cougars. Into Stanton, back to Burns to break it, across to Schumacher. Schumacher drives in, gets tripped, and foul called on the floor. Second foul on the Bulldogs.
Nice job by the Cougars there, pushing it up off the press break.
Schumacher, bounce pass to Burns. Big block by Kirkland, and it'll stay Cougars ball.
Good pass by Ben. Burns did a good backdoor cut, but it's going to be tough inside.
Miller into Stanton, back to Miller at the elbow. Looking for an option in the paint, gets it to Burns. Steps through, off the glass strong. Stanton's there for the offense rebound. Hook shot, can't get it to fall, and knocked out of bounds back to the Bulldogs. Number 13, Miller in the game for the Bulldogs, along with the starter 23 Hudson and number 1 Daniels Jr. back in. Actually, number 10 Brill also came in the game for the Bulldogs. Cougars in the 3-quarter court. Brill up ahead to Barnett, down low for Hudson, and an easy basket for the Bulldogs. Burns into Schumacher, flips it back to Burns across the timeline. Burns kicks it to Stanton in the corner, drives into the elbow. Tough shot off the foul and called on the floor. Cougars will take it underneath. Early 10-point lead for the Bulldogs, 12-2. Cougars inbounding. Miller into Burns. Into the short corner, Burns resets. Tough pass down low, stolen away by the Bulldogs. Barnett. Actually, that was number 2, Schaefer. And puts it in, tough finish. Burns gets to Schumacher. Schumacher across the timeline being defended by Schaefer. Gives it to Miller on the right wing. Miller comes for the dribble handoff to Burns. Burns tries to put the dribble down, defended by by Brill. Down low for Long, stolen away by Hudson. Out ahead to Schaefer, and another 2 points for the Bulldogs. Another timeout for the Cougars.
Yeah, we're going to have a hard time getting the ball inside. I know we're used to being able to get it, but these guys are big, quick, and athletic, and it's not going to be easy to get those passes dropped in on that inside. And you can see as we've gotten penetration and tried to go up, but it's been very tough shooting for our shorter squad to try to get good shots inside.
Yeah, Cougars have yet to attempt a three-point shot here early in the first quarter. Schumacher stays in the game for the Cougars. 4 subs in: Jaden Smith, Nolan Stanton, Barrett Bowen, and Caleb Dennis. After the made basket and the timeout, the Cougars have the baseline. Nolan Stanton inbounding into Schumacher. Flips it back to Stanton in the middle, and a big foul on Barnett. That's the 4th foul of the quarter on the Bulldogs. Nolan Stanton looking to inbound again. Schumacher to Smith to break the press. Hudson there to defend. Smith picks it up back to Schumacher. Tough pass, able to control it. Back up to Bowen. Barrett Bowen being defended by Barnett. Over to Stanton. Stanton gets it back up top to Schumacher. Tightly defended by Brill. I'm sorry, that's 13 Weissmiller. Back to Nolan Stanton, able to turn. Kicks it back up to Schumacher. And Cougars just no intent to shoot. You know, it's just a...
Yeah, they're trying to survive. You can tell. There just looks like they're trying to just not turn the ball over. And then usually when you do that, you turn the ball over.
Weissmiller drives in, kicks it to the corner for Schaefer. And Schaefer hits the 3. 19-2 the score. Ball into Bowen. Floats up to Stanton, stolen away by Schaefer. Hudson over to Weissmiller. Nolan Stanton there to pull down the rebound, and another foul on the Bulldogs. Nolan Stanton will go to the line for some free throws.
(19-2) with 2:37 left to go here. Now, probably for the last, 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, we haven't actually attempted a shot. We've just had turnovers. Early on, we were at least getting to the rim and getting some shots. Tough shots to be trying to take inside, but that at least we were getting some looks. But here now for probably the last couple minutes at least, we have not attempted a shot besides the free throws here.
Nolan Stanton makes both free throws. 19-4 now the score. Schumacher picks up in full court. That's number 12, Johnson. Up ahead to Schaefer, down low for Hudson, and another big dunk by DJ Hudson. Caleb Dennis in the backcourt picks up the dribble and drags his foot, gets called for the travel.
Yeah, shuffled his feet there.
Johnson to Barnett to Hudson. 3-point shot by number 2 Schaefer is good. And it's a 20-point lead for the Bulldogs here in the first quarter. Dennis gets it to Bowen, up ahead to Smith. Pass too far ahead, and Johnson steals. Hudson on the right wing gets it in the corner for Schaefer. Schaefer all the way across for Garrett. Back to Hudson at the top. Schaefer wants the 3, and he got it again.
Yeah, I think maybe the game they had earlier today just maybe warmed them up.
Schumacher tries to get through the triple, throws it away. Down low for Kirkland, and a big dunk by Kirkland. And another timeout by the Cougars. 1:27 left in the first quarter. Bulldogs leading 29-4. We knew this was going to be a really tough matchup for the Cougars, playing a 6A school out of Arkansas. This would be similar to us playing Joplin in Missouri, but Fayetteville's really smothered us in the full court press and taken away opportunities to do much in the offensive set.
Yeah, and it doesn't help that they have been shooting the lights out at the other end when they do get turnovers. They're burying their threes. I think they may have missed 2, but they've made 5 maybe. I don't have the official stats, but I'm just thinking off the top of my head there. I think they've made at least 5 threes.
Cougars staying in the 1-4 press break.
Hopefully we can at least get to shoot some threes here at some point.
Ball into Smith, to Bowen, over to Schumacher, back to the middle of Stanton. Back to Bowen in the backcourt. Gets it across for Schumacher. Into Smith. Jump shot from 15. Rebound pulled down by Kirkland. Quickly out to Johnson. And left-handed finish by Hudson Garrett. Smith pushing the tempo, gets it out to Stanton. And Nolan Stanton lays it in. A minute left to play here in the first quarter. Daniels Jr. enters into Kirkland. Swung over to Schaefer. Rims in and out, offensive rebound by Garrett. Gets a couple touches and finds a way to get it in the basket. Smith to Schumacher. Daniels rides him and gets called for the body check. Schumacher will get 2 free throws.
Yeah, you can tell they're used to playing very aggressive with their press. And the way that they all defend and guard is on top of them.
Too strong on the first free throw. Number 2, Schaefer subbing out as number 4, Luke Barnett back in the game. Schumacher good on the second, 33-7.
Schumacher and Stanton have all of our points so far.
Barnett back up top to Garrett. Daniels Jr. with the ball. Johnson to Barnett. High low to Kirkland, able to handle it. Kirkland finds an angle and puts it in.
I think he got away with a step there. He didn't dribble that.
4 seconds left. Schumacher picks up his dribble, gets it to Smith, and that's the first quarter horn. After 8 minutes of play, Bulldogs leading 35-7. In our defense, that's a normal first quarter scoring for us.
Sometimes, yes.
Bulldogs on pace for 140.
That's not bad. Yeah, I think they just used the game earlier to warm up because they look like they come out pretty sharp.
Yeah, we were saying that they played that St. Petersburg team out of Florida earlier in the day, and I don't know who won, but it was a 64-60 game. So once we saw that score, we kind of knew what was in store for us, which was going to be a bruising game for us. All right, to start the second quarter, we have 5 new players in. Adam Stanton returning to the game, and then Cam Marins, Connor Perry, Brandon Schumacher, and Hunter Marsh. Ball into Brandon Schumacher. Picks up his dribble, gets it to Stanton. Johnson deflects, and ball out of bounds. Will stay Cougars ball. Stanton into the backcourt for Burns. Was Burns in, or did he just?
No, he just subbed in for Cam. I think coach decided he better have a ball handler to handle this pressure.
Burns drives in, tries to split the double, and draws the foul on the trip. Illegal contact on the arm. First foul of the quarter on the Bulldogs. Connor Perry tried to do the handoff to Stanton. I'm not sure what he called there, reaching over the line.
I don't know what he called. He was trying to explain it to.
Ball entered in, Schumacher gets the steal.
Oh.
Tried to flip it to Marsh, and stolen away by the Bulldogs for an easy layup. Stanton picks up the dribble, gets it to Burns. Still in the backcourt. Burns being tightly defended by Johnson. Over to Schumacher on the left wing. Back to Perry at the top. Daniels Jr. with both hands on him. Gets it to Burns. Burns goes down, tries to get it to
he double
Stanton.
dribbled.
Kirkland out ahead and lays it in for 2. Burns rips through, gets it back to Stanton. Down low for Perry, flips it to Marsh. Back to Perry from 15, and he nails it.
Much better job attacking. Oh.
Cougars leave number 5, Garrett, wide open, and they quickly answer. Burns ahead to Stanton. Stanton pushing the pace. Tough shot off the glass. Marsh on the backside for the rebound, and foul called on the Bulldogs.
Looks like 5 new players will come in.
Second foul of the quarter on the Bulldogs. 6:21 on the official clock. Cougars inbounding underneath. Perry gets into Stanton off the top of the backboard, and rebound pulled down by Schaefer. Hudson, one more into the corner for Brill, and he nails the 3. Ball into Schumacher. Gets it back to Burns. Burns being defended by Waste-Miller. Over to Brandon Schumacher. Dribbles into the free throw line, over to Burns on the left wing. Burns slips, gets his feet back, finds Marsh down low. Marsh turns, high off the glass. Backside rebound pulled down by Schaefer. Bulldogs pushing. Schaefer steps through, and foul called. I didn't see a shot there, but said it's a shooting foul.
Looked like it was a bailout call there. He was going to travel.
Foul called on Brandon Schumacher. Schaefer goes to the line for 2. Good on the first, 45-9. 5:34 left in the second quarter. Makes both free throws. Burns across the timeline, being defended by Nick Irvin. Over to Brandon Schumacher on the left. Up top to Perry. Over to Burns. From the elbow, nails the jump shot. Into the front court for Schaefer. Up top for Waste-Miller, down low for Hudson, high low to number 21, Irvin, but he can't get it to fall. Cougars pull down the rebound to clear.
Marsh did a nice job protecting that. He almost passed it, but saw that they were covering.
Brandon Schumacher all the way across for Stanton, rims around and out, and DJ Hudson pulls down the rebound for the Bulldogs. Hudson all the way in, kicks it back out to Schaefer for three, and he got it. Burns being defended by Brill. Gets it into the half-court set to Stanton. Schaefer defending. Stanton with the acrobatic attempt. Off the backboard. Rebound goes to Schaefer. Schaefer pushing ahead. Stanton steals. Gets to Marsh to save it. Over to Burns. Burns in the middle. To Stanton on the right wing. Stanton baseline gets cut off. Tries to find Marsh. Stolen away by Schaefer. Up ahead to Brill. Back to Hudson, looking to enter. Gets it back to Schaefer for the long three. Rims out. Backside rebound by Irvin. Loose ball goes to Burns. Into transition. Burns all the way to the basket. Hudson blocks. Stanton got a hand on it but couldn't receive it. And quickly out in transition for an easy layup for...
Burns was looking for the foul after the block shot. Wiped his legs out.
Burns bounce pass into Perry. Perry turnaround jumper. Marsh, nice rebound.
Gonna call over the back. Or no, they're gonna call it a hold. I don't know what they're calling.
Yeah, I don't think Marsh did anything illegal there. He got the rebound. I think they called the foul on the Bulldogs, didn't they?
I think so.
All right, 51-11. 5 subs back in the game for the Cougars. It's Schumacher, Clevenger, Miller, Max Long, and Cam Marins. Dribble handoff to Clevenger. Gets it back to Schumacher. Can't control it. Clevenger gets back to steal it. Back to Marins. Long in the short corner. Gets it to Schumacher. Schumacher resets up high. Into the corner for Miller. Back to Schumacher on the left wing. Down low for Schumacher, able to receive it. Kicks it back to Miller for three. Too strong. Cam Marins there for the rebound. Off the glass and in.
That's where Ben didn't look at the basket. Nobody was behind him when he caught that pass going to the basket. Kicked it back out.
Garrett across for Daniels Jr. That's number 14, Cooper. Daniels Jr. into the corner. Garrett enters it in to Schaefer. Back up to Daniels Jr. Into the corner again for Garrett. Three-point shot. Rebound pulled down on the backside by Kirkland. Kirkland with the turnaround jumper. And Marins gets called for the box-out foul.
Yeah. I have a hard time believing Marins knocked that kid down.
Yeah. Well, he sold it.
He did sell it, apparently. Because I have no doubt in my mind that he could not push him down if he wanted to.
2:11 on the official clock. Kirkland too strong on the first free throw. Misses both free throws. Max Long pulls down the rebound. Gets it to Clevenger. Titus Clevenger gets it to Schumacher in the front court. Over to Miller. Cannon Miller. Back to Schumacher. Baseline drive. Gets cut off. Finds Marins at the elbow. Marins back out top to Miller. Over to Schumacher on the left wing, being defended by number 14, Cooper. Marins into the corner for Clevenger. Baseline drive, Clevenger floater, and nice finish by Titus Clevenger.
Got it over the outstretched hands. He was wanting to get another block.
Daniels Jr. up top. Over to Cooper, all the way across for Daniels Jr. Drives in, left-handed attempt, And Kirkland knocks it to Daniels Jr. out of bounds. And it's a turnover back to the Cougars. 1:17 to play here in the first half. Cannon Miller into Schumacher. Ben Schumacher gets it back to Miller on the dribble handoff. Miller all the way into the paint, gets it stripped away. Daniels Jr. with the possession. A minute to play in the first. Cooper drives in. Back to Daniels Jr. One more into the corner for Barnett. All the way across for Cooper. And traveling call on Cooper as he lost his feet. I couldn't see what happened.
Dribbling, no.
Oh, was he dribbling?
He was dribbling, and he called him traveling when he fell down. I'm not for sure how when you take off dribbling.
Kind of cuts off our vision there in the corner.
Yeah.
Cannon Miller inbounded in the corner. It's not the correct inbound spot on a travel.
You act like you're surprised.
Miller to Schumacher. 35 seconds to play in the first half. Cooper pokes the ball away on Schumacher. Clevenger, nice hustle. Loose ball. Clevenger gets on the floor, steals it away, and coach calls the timeout to save the possession. Nice effort play by Titus Clevenger to get back and prevent the easy basket by the Bulldogs.
Well, at least we've knocked them off their pace of 70 points for the first half.
Yeah. Yeah, this group that came in, they've done a nice job. They've scored a few buckets and limited the Bulldogs to one shot. Well, really the last two rotations.
Yeah. Yeah, because they've scored 16 points, and we've actually scored, what do we have, 7? So we've actually scored 8.
Yeah. All right, back to the action. Clevenger to Miller. Up ahead to Schumacher. Schumacher across the timeline. Miller comes on the ball screen. Long there in the screen. Schumacher still in the dribble. Gets it stolen away by Kirkland. Kirkland out ahead and finishes with the left. Under 10 seconds to play. Barron's up to Schumacher. For Long and gets fouled. No time left on.
Ben got a little help with that pass as he was.
Oh, did he get poked away?
Yeah, I got smacked from behind there, and it went right to Max Long. So,
fourth foul of the quarter on the Bulldogs. Long at the line for 2 free throws. Good on the first. Long makes both free throws. The clock did run to 0. So that is the end of the first half, 53-17. We'll take a 10-minute halftime break here and be back for the second half. Let's see if I can get that clock correct.
we're at 9.5 here in a second.
All right, we'll be back. All right, we're back for the start of the third quarter. Back to the starting five for the Cougars. The Bulldogs have the arrow. Looks like it's the starting five for the Bulldogs as well. Number 5, Garrett into Johnson. Daniels Jr. at the top. Johnson at the left wing, back to Daniels. Enter to Kirkland. Long gets a hand on it. Hudson at the elbow. Back to Johnson for 3. Too strong. Burns there for the rebound. Burns gets it to Stanton. Oh, Kirkland reaches and pokes it away and draws the foul. He'll go to the line for 2 free throws. Nice read by Kirkland. That was a pass that looked like it was open. Stanton's making that run down the left side, and Kirkland just saw the setup and stepped back, poked it away. Good on the first free throw, 54-17. Makes both free throws. Fayetteville in a half-court set now. Defensive set, I should say. Miller over to Schumacher on the right wing. Gets it back up to Stanton. Stanton runner off the front of the rim. Hudson pulls down the rebound. Tough bounce pass ahead to Daniels Jr. And Burns got the block. Foul called on Schumacher. Oh, crap, I don't know if I grabbed that replay. Let's see here. I didn't grab that replay in time, but
starting out shooting their free throws well the second half.
Makes both free throws. Back into the front court, Burns picks the dribble up, gets it to Stanton on the right wing. Across to Schumacher, up top to Miller.
Oh.
And miscommunication there between Miller and Stanton.
Connor
Turnover
Perry Connor Perry was wide open though over on the bench.
Yeah, Perry has nice hands over there. Johnson into Hudson. Daniels Jr. from the right wing. Burns nice box out along with Stanton. Stanton gets the rebound. Over to Schumacher. Looks to go baseline. Back to Stanton in the corner. Runner from the short corner and comes up short. Hudson with another rebound for the Bulldogs. Garrett, bounce pass into Kirkland. Runs into the big body of Max Long. Stanton tries to swipe it away. Comes down with the rebound, outlet to Burns. Not enough on it as Garrett reads and steals. Stanton gets the block. Garrett's out of bounds. And it's a turnover back to the Cougars. Good effort by Adam Stanton to prevent that basket. Burns ahead, being defended by Garrett. Long comes on the ball screen. Kirkland hedges. Burns tries to go behind his back. And out of bounds. Looks like it's going back to the Bulldogs. Johnson inside to Hudson at the free throw line. Over to Daniels on the left wing. Back up top to the senior Kenyon Johnson. Into the corner for Kirkland, Stanton defending. Garrett to Johnson for 3. In and out, Kirkland.
Oh, wow.
Good job by Stanton holding position. And they call it on Stanton?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought that was, would have been a foul on Kirkland because Stanton was holding his position. Kirkland went right through him. Johnson trying to inbound, gets it into Kirkland. Rises up from 15 and makes the jump shot. Burns finds Schumacher out ahead, off the glass and in. Garrett on the right wing. Trap comes, finds Hudson. One more to Kirkland. Burns gets the block. Long on the outlet, tries to go over the top of Daniels Jr., who steals it back, and Kirkland puts in the jam. Burns through traffic, draws the foul, and he'll go to the line for 2 free throws.
I think Burns smacked the kid across the forehead on his block. Too hard.
Line shift for the Cougars. Actually, Burns stays in. He's shooting free throws, but Hinderleder in the game. First varsity appearance for Hinderleder, along with Nolan Stanton back in the game, Jaden Smith, and Caleb Dennis. Schaefer hustles for the rebound. Number 10, Brill, still in the backcourt. Hinderleder tightly defending. Schaefer stays on the dribble, gets it back to number 10, Brill. All the way across for Weissmiller. Into Brill on the cut, tries to bounce pass it in to number 21, Irvin. Stanton gets on the floor, gets out to Burns, up ahead to Hinderleder. And high off the glass, can't get it to fall.
Almost got his first varsity points there. Didn't get his first shot, though.
Into the corner. Back up top, Burns steals. And easy layup for Broderick Burns. Back to a 40-point lead for the Bulldogs. Weissmiller ahead to Schaefer. Trap comes.
Oh.
And Burns gets called for the hug.
It's Burns' third foul.
Weissmiller inside to Brill. Back out to Barnett, back inside, down low for Irvin, and he puts it in. Weissmiller defending. Smith comes on the screen. Hinderleder baseline, turns back to Burns. Burns from 15 in the corner. Backside rebound by Jaden Smith, and he puts it in for the bucket. Weissmiller to Schaefer. Down low for Irvin. Another easy basket for the Bulldogs. Nolan Stanton on the right wing. Gets it up to Smith. Burns all the way around. Baseline drive, spins. Looks for Stanton on the other side. Irvin deflects. Barnett out running. Gets it to Schaefer. Tough shot. Stanton pokes it to Dennis. Stanton ahead to Smith. Back to Nolan Stanton. Wants the three. Gets it to Dennis and loses the handle. Irvin there for the steal. Out ahead to Schaefer. And Will Schaefer puts in the left-handed layup. Burns walks it up, being defended by Brill. Tough pass there for Hinderleder. Number 4, Barnett, gets on the floor. And Irvin gets the rattle around dunk. Burns to Stanton. Over to Smith, open for 3. Too strong. Hinderleder there for the rebound. And keeps it in. Irvin with the baseball pass ahead. Burns goes for the block and commits the foul. And one opportunity for Schaefer. Schaefer makes the end one, 72-23. 1:29 left here in the third quarter. Stanton at the elbow. Cross for Hinderleader. Bounce pass to Dennis. Irvin's there to steal. Irvin turnaround jumper. Rims out. Nolan Stanton pulls down the rebound. Jaden Smith on the right side. Smith tries to split the double. Foul called on the arm slap. That's the third team foul on the Bulldogs here in the third quarter. Nolan Stanton tries to get it into Burns. Pass too far ahead. Stolen away by Waste-Miller. Inside for Cooper. And another basket for the Bulldogs. Waste-Miller defending on Burns. Burns runs off the screen from Dennis. Gets it to Dennis at the elbow. Dennis spins around in the paint. And a nice turnaround jumper by Caleb Dennis. Ball into the corner for Cooper for three. And he banks it in from the corner. Burns with the spin move and the acrobatic finish by Broderick Burns. And that does it for the third quarter. Well, like I said, we don't want to lose by 100, and we're only down by 50, so.
Yeah, we kept them off the pace of 140 anyway.
Well, the fourth quarter will be a running clock. So hopefully we can keep them under 100 points total.
Yeah.
There's a lot to be learned from playing a game like this. You know, the way Fayetteville plays is a fun style of game. They move the ball, they press, they do the things that we want to do. They're just bigger, faster, and stronger at doing it.
Yeah.
You know, we can really learn from the pace of play that we want to play with. They do a great job of being deliberate, taking open threes when they come, and also they're very good at offensive rebounding.
Yeah. That helps when you're super big.
Yeah.
On offensive rebounding, but exactly right. They're similar. They're just bigger, stronger, faster, but they do the style of play we want to do.
Ben Schumacher tries to force it into Marsh, stolen away by the Bulldogs. Cooper through the triple, loses the handle, gets it back on the floor. Irvin comes up with the ball. Down low to Cooper. Tough shot, and he puts it in.
Yeah, Marsh bodied him up nicely, but just was able to get some space and loop it up.
Brandon Schumacher, good screen by Perry. Schumacher with the left, kicks it to Bowen, and foul called on the Bulldogs. I think we have a clock still running.
Yep, it's still running. At least with this one not being a digital clock like last night, part of the time you're thinking stop, go, stop, go.
Into Schumacher in the corner for three. Rims around and out, and Irvin pulls down the rebound.
We've actually shot a couple threes here second half.
Quick outlet to Barnett, and an easy basket for the Bulldogs. Ahead to Brandon Schumacher, back to Ben. Connor Perry at the top for the three. They got it.
Nice job. Nice job with the shooting a couple threes here last time down the court.
Daniels Jr. over to Schaefer. Back to Daniels Jr. Schumacher defending. Tough pass, and Schaefer steps out of bounds. Ball back to the Cougars.
He thought the coach wanted the ball.
Schumacher jogs it across the timeline. Daniels Jr. defending. Dribble handoff to Barrett. Barrett Bowen bounce pass to Marsh. To the short corner back up top for Perry. Barrett Bowen loses his feet and out of bounds back to the Bulldogs.
I was hoping he was okay. I know he has ankles. I was hoping it didn't turn on him there or something, but looks like he just slipped on the floor.
Yeah, he was trying to plant and go baseline, and he kind of caught the side of his shoe. Just tripped over the side of his shoe.
Gotcha. I couldn't see it from my angle here.
Daniels Jr. up ahead to Cooper. Bounce pass to Irvin, and he's able to float it in. Barrett Bowen on the left side. Back up to Brandon Schumacher. Back to Bowen. Ball screen by Perry. Finds Perry on the pick and roll. Out to Brandon Schumacher for three, and he got it.
Nice ball movement, good pass across there. Brandon way to line up and knock it down.
Yeah, this is what we were talking about that style of play where the Cougars are a little bit more free in movement. Obviously, the Bulldogs have dropped out of the press, which is helping. But
they're backing off on their offensive or on their defensive side, all right, not pressuring nearly as much.
But just the pace of offensive movement has been nice. Also, getting some three-point opportunities. Both Perry and Brandon Schumacher got a three-point shot.
It's like Cannon Miller's checking in, Titus and Marins.
Looks like we have 6 players on the court at the moment.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Looks like Hunter Marshall's going to take a seat. Yeah, we don't need to give him any technical points.
All right, Cam Marins dribbling up for the Cougars. Over to Clevenger. Cross for Brandon Schumacher. To Miller at the top. Wace Miller defending. Over to Brandon Schumacher. Brill defending. Schumacher in the short corner. Back out to Perry. Nice fill by Perry, and he nails the three. I love that right wing fill as Schumacher drives in to the short corner, filling that wing for the outlet, the kick out three.
Yeah, and Connor Perry is definitely deadly with the three-pointers out there if he gets a chance to line them up.
Cooper, ball knocked away, and Marin's last touch will stay Bulldogs ball. Ball into Waze Miller, I'm sorry. Cooper over to Barnett for three. Offense rebound by Cooper, and he puts it in. Quickly out by the Cougars. Clevenger picks up his dribble, gets it to Miller at the top. Back to Clevenger, up top to Perry. Tough pass by Perry inside to Clevenger. And stuffed home by Irvin. Clevenger gets it to Marins. Back to Clevenger. Up top to Miller. Barnett tightly defending. Finds Perry just inside the free throw line. Jump shots off as Waze Miller pulls down the rebound for the Bulldogs. Just over 2 minutes left to play. Irvin goes for the bounce pass to Cooper. Clevenger reads it and steals.
Gonna timeout so he can do the subs.
All right, Hinterleader subbing in for the Cougars as Cannon Miller, actually it's Brandon Schumacher checks out. Ball into Miller. Over to Clevenger into the corner for Hinterleader. Bentley Hinterleader, I like the setup, got to his left hand to do the crossover dribble, but stepped on the sideline. Turnover back to the Bulldogs. Ball inside to Cooper. Down low for Irvin. Irvin with the drop step in and puts another basket in on that baseline. Clevenger in with the right. Marins gets a touch on it. Irvin pulls it down into the baseball pass out ahead to Barnett. Ways Miller holds, gets into Cooper. Ball deflected by Clevenger. Cooper gets it back to a wide open Irvin down low. And Irvin's been living off that dunker spot. Ball to Perry, into the corner for Clevenger. Bounce pass into Marins. Marins, good job getting to it. Back up top to Miller. Under a minute to play. Hinderleader, tough pass into Marins, able to get to it. Back up top to Clevenger. Clevenger with a crossover dribble, stolen away by Brill. Hinderleader cuts it off. Cooper to Barnett. Into the corner, back up top to Barnett. Across for Brill. Clevenger's not giving up as he's bodying Irvin. 20 seconds to play.
He's not going to let him shoot the three.
.12 seconds left, and the Bulldogs will hold. And that's the final buzzer. Final score is Bulldogs 91, Cougars 36. Well, that's all we have for the Kansas City trip. We knew we were we wanted to play in this 12 Courts of Christmas to expose the boys to really a higher level of play and force them to be exposed for their weaknesses.
Yeah.
And so and that's what we did. The second half, we did make some good plays. Defensively, Fayetteville was just really strong. It was hard for us to stop Irvin. It was hard for us to stop Hudson, Kirkland, the three bigs.
Yeah.
When they would play that dunker spot, we just really didn't have an answer for it out of the zone. But we won't face anyone like that on our tournament run, in districts and into any state games.
State final.
Unless we got to a state final against Principia.
Then it would be it would be similar.
Principia is on this level, yeah.
Yeah.
So, like we said, Crane. We were talking at halftime. Crane, who beat us pretty handily in the Pierce City tournament early in the year, they went to the Blue and Gold tournament in Springfield, and Logan Rogersville beat them by 30, and then Logan Rogersville turned around and beat Glendale by 40. So, there's something to be said for good teams learning from playing a team that's just a lot better than you, and hopefully the boys, obviously you never want to get beat by 50-plus points, but hopefully they can take something out of this. Titus Clevenger and Bentley Hinderleader both got action. Titus Clevenger got his first varsity points. Hinderleader got on the stat sheet. So there's some value there, and obviously building for the future also.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, it got with this kind of a game, there was lots of subs, lots of rotations in there. You can see what they've got to work on.
All right,
just getting some exposure, like you said, to some of those younger players. You could see that when they were really playing tight early in the first half, they didn't care. They pressed the whole time. And so it was one of those deals where they just didn't back off at all that whole first half. And so everybody that got in that first half part of the game got to see what kind of intensity these big schools play with.
Yeah.
It wasn't until really the fourth quarter where they really backed off their defensive pressure. They went to half court there in the third quarter, but it was still pretty tight, still having to challenge. And then by the fourth quarter, their coach had backed them off to where it was more of a normal game for us type defense.
Well, and I think we can learn if we go back and watch the way they were defending versus the way we were defending. It's not just physical ability; it's also defensive effort.
Oh, yeah.
And stance and positioning. and hopefully we can learn from that as we watch this game back and watch the Fayetteville highlights of their 15 dunks.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll close out sending you through the second half recap. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll be back in action after the first year, January 8th, I believe is our first game against Lighthouse at home.
I was thinking we had one earlier than that.
Brad's going to check the schedule.
Yeah, I'm
going
to check it. I thought we might have had one the 6th.
Oh, January 6th is versus Lighthouse.
There we go. That's what I thought. 6th is January 5th is Missouri Warriors for the 9th grade, and January 6th is Lighthouse. 9th JV and Varsity at the East Campus.
Okay.